Hi friends, in this part we are going to look into power radiated. So when charges accelerate, they radiate energy, and we already know the formula for power radiated was P is equal to, our average power radiated is integration, this is the average Poynting vector, dot dA bar, right? Now here we are going to look into different cases. First is the power which is radiated by an accelerated point charge. That is, let's assume there is some point charge plus q, and it is, let's assume it is moving in this direction. The velocity is not constant. The velocity is not constant means there is some acceleration in this, some acceleration of this charged particle. Then the power radiated is P will be equal to mu naught q square gamma raised to 6 upon 6 pi c a squared minus v bar cross a bar square divided by c square. This formula is known as the Leonard formula. Here this gamma is the Lorentz factor, which is 1 by root of 1 minus v squared upon c squared. A is the acceleration and v is the velocity. Now here you can see this power is proportional to gamma raised to 6. So and we know when velocity increases, gamma also increases, and then power increases enormously. So as v tends to c, the gamma increases and power also increases enormously. Here now we are having three cases. Case 1 is when V and A, this both are collinear. Collinear means V and A are parallel to each other, that is V bar is parallel to A bar. And when it is parallel, so then cross product will be VA sine theta. Theta here is 0, sine 0 is 0, right? So here theta will be equal to 0, and the power, the formula will become mu naught q squared a squared gamma raised to 6 upon 6 pi c. Now when V is parallel to A or when theta equals to 0, this is the straight line motion of the charge, and this power, it can also be called as the Bremsstrahlung radiation or the braking radiation. Bremsstrahlung radiation or the braking radiation. It is the radiation which is produced when highly energetic charged particles like electrons hit a metal target. For example, like something that we have in X-ray tubes. Then case 2. Case 2 is when V and A are perpendicular to each other, that is V is perpendicular to A. So in this case theta will be equal to 90 degrees and it will be a circular motion. So at that point the power, here we put, then power will be equal to mu naught q square, theta is 90 degrees, right? So what will that be? VA sine 90 will be equal to 1. So we will have mu naught q square a square gamma raised to 4 upon 6 pi c. This type of radiation is called as the synchrotron radiation. The third case is when V is non-relativistic. The velocity is non-relativistic in the sense velocity is very much less than the speed of light, and in that case the power will be equal to mu naught q squared a squared divided by 6 pi c. This is called as the Larmor formula. So you can see that this Larmor formula is independent of the velocity. There is no velocity term here. These three are the cases that arise when we consider the power radiated by an accelerated point charge. Next we will look into the power radiated by oscillating electric dipole. Now we are going to look into power radiated by oscillating electric dipole. Consider two metallic spheres with charges plus q and minus q, and then they are separated by a distance d. Let this be the z axis, and then these two charges, they are connected by some fine wire. Okay, and let's say we are having a point P, and this is the origin, this is making angle theta, this distance is r, and this distance is this d. Okay, now let q naught be the maximum charge which we have, therefore the maximum value of dipole moment will be P naught, that is equal to q naught into d. Now we oscillate the wire or the charges, we oscillate them with angular frequency omega, and then we will have qt will be equal to q naught cos omega t, and we will have P of t will be equal to q naught d cos omega t. Q naught d is P naught, so this will be P naught cos omega t, and this is along the minus to plus, that is along the z hat direction. You should remember from the last video we have seen a retarded potential, and a retarded potential here in this case, which will be a function of r, theta and t, will be equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught p bar dot, that is the first order derivative with respect to t of p, at tr dot r hat divided by rc. You have to remember, I'll tell you that this video is all about formulas, this part, so you'll have to remember the formulas, try your best to remember them. This tr we know is the retarded time, which is t minus r by c, and what will be P dot now? P dot at tr, so we can write P dot will be equal to P dot tr will be equal to, this is vector quantity, this will be differentiation of this will be minus omega P naught sine omega tr, this will be equal to minus omega P naught sine omega tr is t minus r by c in the z hat direction. Put that here and we will get minus P naught omega cos theta divided by 4 pi epsilon naught r c sine omega t minus r by c, that's it. This is the retarded potential. We can take here this cos theta arises because we can take here P dot r hat as P dot cos theta, right? So P dot is this term minus omega P naught sine omega t minus r by c, this term, and cos theta is as it is, divided by rc and divided by 4 pi epsilon naught. Similarly, we can get the vector potential now, a bar of r, theta and t, and this will, the formula is mu naught upon 4 pi r p bar dot t r, not r hat, there is no r hat, that's it. So solve this and you will get minus mu naught p naught omega divided by 4 pi r into sine omega t minus r by c in the z hat direction. Then we can also get the electric field E and the magnetic field, the Poynting vector, as well as the average power radiated, which we actually want to find, right? So let's find those. The electric field will be equal to minus del bar B minus del A bar by del T. This also this formula we have seen in potential formulation, and this will be equal to mu naught upon 4 pi r hat cross P double dot tr. This will be equal to minus mu naught P naught omega squared divided by 4 pi r sine theta cos omega t minus r by c theta hat. Then you can also find the magnetic field will be del bar cross A bar is equal to minus mu naught upon 4 pi r c we'll have r hat cross p double dot tr. Solving this, we'll get minus mu naught p naught omega squared divided by 4 pi r c sine theta cos omega t minus r by c phi hat. Now we can find the Poynting vector. The Poynting vector is 1 by mu naught e bar cross b bar. This will be equal to mu naught p naught squared omega raised to 4 upon 16 pi squared r squared c. We will have sine squared theta cos squared omega t minus r by c in the r hat direction. Therefore, the average Poynting vector will be equal to mu naught p naught squared omega raised to 4 divided by 16 pi squared r squared. Sorry, 16 will become into 2, right? So it will become 32. Pi squared r squared will have sine squared theta and c again in the r hat direction. Here this, and thus you can see that this Poynting vector s is actually proportional to q square, because p naught is q naught d naught, right? So we can say that this Poynting vector is actually proportional to q naught squared d squared omega raised to 4 sine squared theta upon r square. All other quantities are constants. So here this is r hat, so the power is radiated along the axis. That is, there will be no radiation along the z axis. The maximum power will be radiated in the xy plane, like in the form of a donut. And so the average power radiated is equal to integration average of Poynting vector dot dA bar, and this will be mu naught p naught squared omega raised to 4 upon 12 pi c. So the formula here can be average power radiated will be equal to mu naught upon 6 pi c p double dot squared and the average of this term. So see, what you can do is, if you cannot remember all of the formulas, at least try to just understand that the power in this case is radiated along the in the form of a donut and not in the z axis, in a plane, xy plane. And you can remember the formula for this power, which is mu naught upon 6 pi c p double dot squared, and p is what? P naught cos omega t z hat. Okay, now just like this, we can also look into the power radiated by oscillating magnetic dipole, but there we will go fast and just arrive at the average power which is radiated in that case. So now we look into power radiated by oscillating magnetic dipole. Consider a magnetic dipole which is carrying some current I. Let this be the z axis, and we have some point P which is making an angle theta here. This distance is r, and the current is I of t, which is equal to I naught cos omega t. Then the magnetic dipole moment will be equal to I of t, current I into area, and area, okay, let this radius be a, so area will be pi a square. That will be I naught pi a squared cos omega t, and this term I naught pi a squared can be m naught cos omega t in the z hat direction. This is m bar t. Then you can find the Poynting vector, average Poynting vector. It comes out to be mu naught m naught squared omega raised to 4 upon 32 pi squared c cube sine squared theta upon r squared r hat, and from this we can get the average power which is radiated, and it comes out to be mu naught m naught squared omega raised to 4 upon 12 pi c cube. So the formula here is mu naught upon 6 pi c cube m double dot square and the average of this. And there in electric we had P power electric, we had mu naught upon 6 pi c P double dot average squared, right? And that formula came out to be mu naught P naught squared omega raised to 4 divided by 12 pi c. So one point to note here is that for configurations of comparable dimensions, the power radiated electrically is greater than that which is radiated by magnetic. That is, P electric is much greater than P magnetic. These are all formulas, and try to learn as many of them as you can. I will look at a problem and then we'll stop. The question goes like this. A non-relativistic particle, non-relativistic means the velocity is very much less than c, of mass m, charge E, moving with a velocity v, since it is not relativistic, it is very much less than c, and acceleration a, emits radiation of intensity I. We know intensity is what? Average of the Poynting vector. What is the intensity of radiation emitted by a particle of mass m by 2, charge 2e, velocity v by 2 and acceleration 2a? In this case, the intensity is what? Now one thing we can see here is that since the particle is accelerated, of course there will be power radiated. So that is the intensity of that radiation which we are about to find for the second case. Since it is a particle, in non-relativistic case, we can look at the Larmor formula. And what did that formula say? Larmor formula was P is equal to mu naught q squared a squared divided by 6 pi c. This is for a charge which is moving with non-relativistic speed. Now mu naught is a constant, and what is intensity and relation with power? Intensity is proportional to or equal to, we can also say, power divided by area, or just proportional to power divided by area. And power is dependent on what? Mu naught is a constant, 6 pi c and constant, q and a are changing. It is dependent on the charge, and it is square of the charge and square of the acceleration. And in both the cases the area is going to be same. So we can say that intensity here is directly proportional to q squared a squared. You can also find this from the Poynting vector. So now I dash divided by I will be equal to q dash squared a dash squared divided by q squared a squared. Q dash squared means this charge 2e, that will be 2e the whole square. A is the acceleration, 2a the whole square divided by q is the charge, a is the acceleration. This is e squared and a squared. 2 2s are 4, 2 2s are 4, 4 4s are 16, e squared a squared divided by e squared a squared. This cancels. We'll have I dash is equal to 16i. So even though we didn't knew exactly what the intensity was, using the other formulas somehow we can come to that point. Okay. And one last point here is that the electric field and the magnetic field associated with radiation. Radiation means when velocity is not constant and the acceleration is not equal to 0, then the electric field and magnetic field associated with this type of radiation is inversely proportional to R. And we'll stop here. In the next part, we will look at relativistic electrodynamics. Peace be upon you.